Now what's up? So I'm going to bring you another Anarchy build for Moze today. I uploaded one a few days ago that used Forge and Short Fuse. Now I'm doing a totally different skill setup using Anarchy. And I've done some testing with the annoyance and between the 125% incendiary, the 160 splash, and the consecutive hits. This one has outperformed the other two during the takedown pretty significantly, so we're not using that and focusing a little bit more on that in the build. Same blast master as before, Pearl again. I'm using a big boom blaster, but I also use this old god with fire damage sometimes too. I like them both. They both get pretty good survivability. The old god's tankier, get a bigger shield with it, and then a maddening tracker as usual. So with the mag boost on our gear and match set and redistribution and cloud of lead here, that's enough on its own. You don't need forge really. That's enough to prevent us from reloading at all for our blastmaster. And because we have cloud of lead, fire on the Skadin, we're gonna have experimental munitions, and then our fire anoint stoked embers is a real good investment there. And so for demolition woman, we just want to get some vampire. Nothing else in this tree is really that important. We just want vampire, so we have to build down to it. These points are just extras. There's just nowhere good to put them. Don't really need it since we're just going to enter and exit Iron Bear whenever we get in it, and that's just going to be for our shield anoint or to not die if we get in a bad situation. It's nice to be able to have it up all the time, I guess, though, so that's why we put those points there. Otherwise, we just want vampire. Our main investment here is in the shield retribution tree. Since short fuse doesn't really do a lot for multi-pellet shotguns, especially 20 pellet shotguns, it's going to be better just to boost our gun damage. We'll get more out of it that way. So we take Foulness Doctrine for survivability and gun damage. We got gun damage here. We got some fire damage on our crits. Survivability from this. More gun damage. More gun damage. And then more survivability. These are extra points to move down in the tree. You could put them here if you wanted. Put them wherever you want. But that's probably the best place to put them. So that's the build, and I'm going to leave you with a true takedown run, and call it a day. So we have fire rate on the enemy is in cryo, which ain't going to do anything for us. Put it on true mode. You can see I've already stacked my weapon, and that was not because I wanted to start with max stacks, it's because I wanted to empty my backpack. You pick up so much ammo in the takedown, it messes up regen builds, so even though I've emptied it all the way down to 4, by the time we get to Wotan, it's still going to be full, and I might even have my mag size reduced. Last run I did, I was only able to regen up to 10 in my mag by the time I got to Wotan, even though I emptied it at the start. So you definitely want to do that for any Moze builds that regenerate ammo. Because it's a big pain in the ass. You get to Wotan and you only got 5 in your mag. You can only shoot 5 times. What the fuck? This orb hiding behind the... Can't hit it behind that thing. So you definitely want to empty your backpack. It'll save you a lot of hassle. And you're still gonna fill up. There's no way to prevent it. Last time I actually ended up having to reset my blastmaster to fill my mag again anyways, even though I planned ahead of time. It doesn't always happen that way. So we just do the best we can to avoid it. Now what makes this build interesting, even though this gun is really overpowered, is that if you go down at all of a sudden you lose all that power, especially on Moze. The base damage is really bad without the stacks. God, I just can't hit these shots. They're jumping out of the way right as I go to hit them. So if you go down at the wrong time during this run, it's really going to slow things down a ton and make it a lot harder. And that's what makes it interesting, trying to do the whole run without making any mistakes. Especially when we get to the Wotan fight. Most of it's pretty easy, but in the final stage it's really easy to get hit by those nades or have the better half melt you real quick. If you don't do it perfectly, basically, you end up going down, and if you go down, it's going to make that fight take a lot longer. It'll be a lot harder. If you go down when there's no ads left, you're screwed, because you're not going to be able to do anything about it. So, it's kind of what makes it a little interesting. Already up to 79 in the backpack. Part of that is not just the ammo we're picking up, but the fact that when you do pick up ammo, redistribution or forage starts regenerating it into your backpack as well as your magazine. So that's part of why that bug happens, or why it fills up so much. Something I really wish they would fix. I don't want to clear her shield yet. I want to get some shots on these other ones. Get their shields at least lowered before I finish off her shield there. So you won't progress to the next stage until you fully empty one of their shields. So it's a good idea to lower all the shields and then finish off Sigrifa's in particular, because she's the one with the most dangerous attack there. So it's better to just get her out of the way before she can do that attack. See, you don't really have to directly hit anything to kill stuff, since the bullets ricochet into them anyways. It does do reduced damage on the ricochet, but it's enough in mobbing and kill stuff. As long as it's not a heavy or a badass, those usually take more direct shots. You can see the effect of the pearl, where the first shot doesn't do a ton of damage, but then the second one does twice as much damage. It does stack in one hit, as long as you hit all the pellets on something. So it's really nice about the pearl, and it pretty much doubles the damage, so real close to it. Messing around on the target dummy and sanctuary. A full stacks and full blast master, like an ADS crit where all the pellets hit. It does 1 million kinetic plus 3 million fire, or 2 to 3 million, depends on the hit. And then on the second hit, it's going to do 2 million kinetic, and then 5 million fire, 6 million if it's a cloud of lead shot. So shows that the pearl stacks fully in one hit, and that it doubles your damage. As you can see, you could done it a couple times. You can ricochet shots and kill stuff up there before it even comes down. These guys, you want to try to get a good solid shot to get the one hit. With ADS on their head, it's gonna one hit them. And we won't be rushing into the bridge, because again, we don't want to end up going down. And in scaled mode, I do still rush into the bridge because I can avoid going down pretty well there, but in true mode, there's just too many enemies, especially ones that get right in your face, and it's way too risky. It's really easy to accidentally get down doing that, so we're just gonna kill everything methodically on the bridge. Get rid of these badasses, because they will come up behind you while you're messing with the orbs, and you don't want that to happen. Oh my god, will you quit avoiding my shots? You want to get this area cleared out as much as you can before the orbs spawn. Try not to get hit by barrels like I just did. Doing a horrible job on this run. Normally I kill these guys a lot faster. You don't want too much happening here because then you want to be able to take your time and ADS on those guys. Fuck, I can't hit him. We did not do a good job clearing, so now it's going to be a little more chaotic than it would be. But I'm going to get an iron bear to make sure I don't die here. You want to get those orbs when they're at the end of the bridge. ADS on them and you can one-hit them. Otherwise, once they get here, they start being all crazy and flying around. But I was missing shots, so that didn't work out that way this time. You can just kind of spam down at the end of the bridge here. Kill a lot of things with ricochets and your fat spread. Badass dogs are going to take a pretty direct hit to kill them quick. But most of these trash mobs will... What the hell was that? Most of the trash mobs you can just spam down like this. Flamethrower heavyweights, you want to get a good hit on their tank. Otherwise, they resist a lot of your damage, so it'll take more shots to take them down if you don't get a nice careful hit on them. So if you ADS on their tank, you'll get the one hit pretty much every time. But if you miss the tank, you see it takes a little bit more. Totally missing the tanks on these guys. So I only got up to 154 in my backpack this time. That's good. I'm gonna have a full mag starting off. Last time I got here, I was down to 10 mag, even though I emptied it to 10 in my backpack at the start. So it just depends. Sometimes you pick up a lot more ammo than other times. Here's where the interesting part of the run goes with this build, because really easy to get down in a multitude of ways. Going down in this fight is a big detriment. It pretty much ruins your run. I have went down and managed to finish it, but most of the time if I go down, it's at a bad time where there's no ads left, because kill all the ads so easy. So usually when I go down in this fight with this build, it's the end of the run. It's really hard to recover from a lot of the time. Most of the fight's easy. It's the last phase that's the hardest. It's really easy to get tagged by a big hit. I get rid of that guy. He'll do a lot of damage to us when we don't want it. Something is cryoing me too, and that's really an issue. Don't want to be cryoed in this fight. It's annoying. So you want to hop an Iron Bear right here and get away from Wotan. He'll start spamming those nades on you. Looks like I still have a cryo enemy, so that's annoying. Get rid of the better half as fast as we can. Oh fuck, I accidentally reloaded. A lot of times better half will bug out on you, and you just keep spamming at it to deal with that. I didn't throw any nades, and that's why I ended up accidentally reloading. I'm real careful of his nade attack, because that's what's down me the most. That's it, that's your takedown. And with your 125 paranoid, you can actually get rid of these, even though you're doing splash damage to them. You can kill the legs. So that's it, that's a takedown run, true takedown. Seems pretty easy, but again, any mistake is going to ruin your whole run, because you're going to lose. You're going to go from doing millions per hit to doing 50k per hit. It's a real big loss if you go down at all. So this is what makes it fun, having to do the whole thing perfect and not make any mistakes. So enjoy.